Oh.
I mean, that's at least what the name that is written there means in Japanese.
The more you learn.
It's like we had a accidental start on Karioki's side, but that will remedy itself soon. And we're off. So once again, the randomized swords aspect of this tournament, there's going to be some weapon on Uncle, but not a guaranteed sword. It's one of 7 possible items.
Yeah, they need an item that will be able to get them through escape. So they need something that will kill all the guards, something that'll damage. Oh, awesome! So it's Cane of Burna. So something that's going to damage anything. So the bats, the rats, all those things.
Yep, we've got Brian strats in the opener.
So that'll mean having to monitor their magic. The great thing is they've modified the Uncle in such a way that they will have a full magic bar for going through. And if it so happens that they accidentally die on their way through, they will get a full magic refill so that they don't accidentally have to soft lock and restart again.
Yeah, that seems generally like a great idea, and we don't want our runners to have to, restart. We don't want this to be a miserable opening.
No, definitely not. But you never know what happens. Sometimes the ball and chain guard can be a little bit nasty.
Yeah, with Cane of Burna and like the 10 bomb opening and those other things, I see people more often than not resort to pot strats on the ball and chain guard.
Oh yeah, that is a smart way of doing it. Now the other thing that these players are going to be looking for while they're back here is they're going to be looking for some bombs so that they can bomb the 3 chests in the very back. Otherwise they'll have to wait to get gloves and go back, and they'll spend a little bit extra time that they really don't want to be spending.
So it looks like today that the blue and green guards are in separate drop pools, and the blue guards began with a full magic refill. So when they killed that one with the pot on the way down, they both saw the full magic refill, and they're like, wait a minute, I'm gonna go back and get that.
Yes, definitely a good strategy.
There are 3 pots in the room with Zelda's cell, and that is exactly enough to kill all the enemies in here.
Oh, excellent. There's a bomb.
Oh, nice. So Karioki gets the bomb. If BrewersFan manages to kill at least one more green guard, he probably will get one as well, but there's no guarantees on that. Although he could spend some magic trying to do so, because he's got quite a bit to spare and only one more required enemy left to kill.
I'm blanking on that. Oh, the rat that has the key.
Yep. It's the true final boss of Escape.
The true final boss.
And if you think I'm joking, just do a 10 bomb seed and see what happens.
That sounds rough.
I've seen quite a few 10 bomb seeds since I've been commentating this. What I haven't seen is a sword seed.
Oh, that'd be too vanilla, though. JP still doesn't have any bombs, but it's possible that the rats and the snakes have a bomb drop. We'll see.
Yep.
Yes, the commentator's blessing.
Yeah, I felt like if he wasn't going to try to kill more green guards, the room with a bunch of ropes in it would be a great way to go. And the 4 bombs in there is going to make it not only that they can access the back, but they can get through most of Kakariko Village.
All right, so
Brewers takes care of the true final boss, no problem.
Yep, and with just a little bit of magic to spare, so that's good. So there's a power glove and a little bit of an upgrade on their wardrobe.
So glove in the back of escape is kind of trolly, especially if you didn't get bombs.
Yeah, that would have locked them out of that area.
Yeah, they can go back in through the front, but it's a long trip.
I wouldn't want to take that trip.
Now, luckily, the light cone is still there even after you complete escape once. This is something I found out the other day when I had to do that.
You had to go back?
Yep.
So I saw we have a red crystal over in Desert, and the red pendant in Eastern Palace, and a regular crystal up on the mountain.
All right.
Not
so
bad.
Some of our objectives are laid out before us. I find Desert having important crystal can be a little trolly because Desert has a little bit of an access requirement that's kind of weird and unique. Wow, bombs everywhere today. We got bombs from the Tier 2 tree pull. We've got bombs from the crab.
Do you need any bombs, Doctor?
Well, you know, I wasn't really planning on doing any international terrorism, but they may have changed my mind. No, I'm kidding.
Oh, man. Yeah, so getting back to Desert, they need a book, or they need another lift upgrade and the flute. Not only that, they also need a source of...
A mirror.
Oh, and a mirror, yeah, and the mirror. What else do they need? They need a source of fire at the very back.
Yeah, also, well, they have the glove, so... the glove is not a problem. And the single 100 rupee item found in the Lost Woods hideout. I believe Brewers Fan did take a short glance at what was in the mushroom spot. I didn't quite get to see it, though.
Yeah, both of them checked it. Oh, maybe both of them didn't check it.
Well, Kariohki hasn't quite been there yet, but...
JP must have checked it twice, because I saw somebody go up 2 times. So I guess maybe he wanted to check just to make sure that he didn't miss something. Oh, I mean, if it's the 10 arrows, it's possible that maybe you just wanted to check to make sure it wasn't silvers. Because those can be, or even the hook shot. Sometimes you don't see it properly and get... I know there've been a few seeds where they've... Oh, there's the book. Excellent.
Speaking of book, yeah.
I mean, the seed was kind of calling that was going to happen. But yeah, I've seen a few seeds where they've seen something that they thought was the arrows, but it was actually the hook shot. And that really, really messed them up through the entire game.
Oh, Brewers Fan is about to put that book to good use, ladies and gentlemen.
No way, not this soon.
All right, I hope you guys got your pedestal hype ready because this could be big or it could be garbage. It's likely garbage.
There is a 98% chance that it's garbage.
It's garbage.
Well, I mean, hearts are... they're all right.
Yeah, but that one's not even working properly.
Yeah, it's only a quarter of the way working.
It's like one atrium and or ventricle.
Yep, pretty much.
Sorry, that was the worst joke. Okay.
You tried.
Yeah. Actually turns out in V29, the pedestal has about a 4.5% chance of being required.
Oh, okay. I thought it was a 2% chance.
Yeah. At least according to the seeds that that Christos put out, the big dump of spoiler logs. I may have done a marathon data crunching session.
Yeah, I looked at it too. That's a lot of arrows that they've been picking up.
Yeah, if only they had something with which to fire them.
You mean like a bow?
Yeah, maybe. I mean, I kind of wish we could go all Buffy the Vampire Slayer and just stab people.
It could be an option. I don't see why they don't do that. Okay, so they have a shovel, so at least that might get them something, but so far, Kakariko is running a little dry.
Okay, so new variation called Buffy mode, where you don't your bow is infinite, but your sword costs arrows.
Okay, so the book is their spells. They have a shovel. Hey, a shovel. I'm pretty sure Buffy used a shovel sometimes.
There we go. All right, so it turns out the dig spot location, not really worth it. Brewers fan going directly for mini mold. Oh, never mind. That was a interesting way of heading this direction. Oh, maybe he just wants more bombs. Just knows there's a crab there like, hey, give me bombs.
Well, he doesn't have enough magic to use Burna on these mini Moldorms, so it's bomb strats.
Yeah, and I guess you don't want to resort to having to pull it off with just 5.
So Kariohki found the Moon Pearl in
the dam?
In the dam. My mind was blanking on dam. There it is. But not much else in Mini Moldorm Cave. Oh, hey.
Oh my goodness, more gloves. That's Dark World access right there.
It sure is. And look at how healthy this seed is right now.
Yep. As soon as Karaoke hits up Mini Moldorm Cave, she'll catch up on hearts as well. And Brewers Fan gonna check the Ice Rod Cave. This has been known to troll players from time to time if you leave this lying around.
Oh, Karaoke learning the hard way that the Moldorms do not die from the boomerang.
Oh, hammer time!
Oh yeah.
At Ice Rod Cave, my goodness. They trying to get this seed over with in 45 minutes? What's going on here?
So JP has full mail upgrades and the fire shield right now, so that's pretty good. And I see Karaoke is just getting that as well. So they've got a lot of defense. They have the hammer, and all they're missing really, if they want the full deal, is a sword.
Yep. So Brewers Fan is in a little bit of an unfortunate situation with this fake flipper. Because the Moon Pearl's over a dam and he hasn't been there yet. So he was not going to be able to get the 2 chests in the waterfall. But he does at least have enough money for Zora. And Brewers Fan just actually doing the save and quit from Hobo, perhaps not familiar with how to do the reverse fake flipper.
That one's a hard one to pull off.
You just got to be standing at the right vertical pixel as you jump off, and jump off directly to the right. Don't do any shenanigans with down. And for the love of all that is good and holy, do not be facing down when you jump off.
What happens if you face down?
Well, you'll be 1 pixel higher than you think, and then you will transition, and then hit the water, and soft lock.
Yeah, you don't want to soft lock. Soft locking is bad.
Alright, so Brewers Fan picking up that Moon Pearl. He knows he's got Dark World access, and he's about to get additional Dark World access. Not sure where Karaoke is headed. Looked for a second there, like we might have been seeing a run on Hype Cave, but perhaps not. You know, actually, I think I can get behind Brewers Fan's routing here. He decided to go right because he's got the book and he planned on going directly to Desert after the dam.
Yep. Sometimes there's a method to the madness.
Yeah. It's probably a better way of doing it, too. Like, my brain wants to go to the dam and then just go to Desert and then do Mini Moldorm later. But then I realize, you know, there's a lot of items in Mini Moldorm. Could be important. But usually, when you get the book this early, that indicates something in Desert.
Yes, especially seeing as it's a red crystal.
And also especially seeing as we don't have access to any of the other wonderful items that the book would provide us access to. Now, we've got the Misery Mire green pendant today. So that does give us a seed where we could have, say, the flute in Ganon's Tower. So we may not even get a visit from everybody's favorite swag duck. And Karaoke is heading over to Eastern. Meanwhile, Brewers has found out that Desert is not bootlocked, so that's a relief.
Yeah, I missed what was on the torch.
It looked to be 10 arrows.
Oh, what a surprise.
And Karaoke, for a second, was acting like this is Palace of Darkness.
Oh, yeah. It's not, though.
Or you could have been thinking this is Randomizer with Pot Shuffle. That's a thing. I don't know if you guys are aware of Pot Shuffle.
It sounds pretty evil.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. I didn't see what was in that back chest there in the desert. Did you?
It wasn't anything important, but I can't remember now.
All right, so Desert just looking to be complete garbo right now. Though I think it might have been like map compass on the right-hand side. Yeah. So yeah, that means Landmola's has the remaining item.
Yep, and JP can't get any further without a torch.
Yep, we got to get some fire.
Right, so let's see what I'm gonna... Oh, hey.
Oh, that ain't fire, but it's close enough.
Don't mind us if we take your Cane of Samaria there, Agana.
Why are you taking an old man's walking stick? Why are you doing that? I mean, I guess he did keep it in the closet. He wasn't really using it. It looks like Brewers Fan is going to do a check for Hype Cave. Now, Gina's Cave having something is kind of a trolly situation. We also note that I believe Thieves Town was the remaining pendant, and it looked like Ice Palace was the 6.
Yeah, that was... Oh, hey, yeah. And there's the flute anyway. That's good.
Of flute, my goodness.
You know, I'm glad they got the flute, because it means that they're able to move a lot quicker.
Yeah, the mobility that the flute provides, even if it's not required, is just amazing. And it's going to be nice for Karaoke once she finds that mushroom in Hype Cave, because the makes turning in the mushroom a lot easier. Now, having the cane in Agina's Cave would usually be pretty trolly because it's an out-of-the-way location. You don't like to go there. But since you've got the book anyway, Desert is kind of on your radar, and so Agina's Cave is a logical check while you're over there anyway. So I imagine Karaoke will get it.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, basically the only thing that Hype Cave held today was the mushroom. There were 300 rupees in there, which is, nothing to sneeze at, but unless you're allergic to rupees, I guess.
You never know. Alright, so Karaoke, because she only has 2 hearts left, she's doing a safe hammer kill on all these baddies back here, instead of doing the damage boost to get through the pot.
Yeah.
Smart move.
If I were Karaoke, though, right now, I'd be picking up those pots on the bottom because they have hearts underneath them.
They do indeed. Awesome. Okay, there. Compass. Was it worth it?
Nope. So I guess Armos has the remaining item in Eastern, but if you are these runners, you are going to probably want to not do that at any point on account of Eastern being a pendant today. But if it gets late and we're still looking for something, there very well be a thing.
Yeah, it could be a last resort.
So with our pendants and crystals solidified, we can start talking about what you need to complete this seed. We are going to need a mirror. We're going to need flippers. We're going to need a bow. We're going to need both rods, fire and ice. The logic will require us to have a lamp, and we're going to require at least one medallion. And of course, the hook shot. We see Kariohki activating the flute. Gonna get some serious mobility out of that.
Yeah, that'll help her fly around a little bit faster. And JP's gonna head into Thieves Town to check out these 4 chests.
Yep. JP could complete the dungeon. I think in this scenario, if I were running, I would base whether or not I go down into the back on how many items I find in the front. If I found 3 items up front, I'd be like, there's only 1 item back there, don't even worry about it. If I find no items in the front, which is possible, I'm like, well, better go check.
So you'd wait until there was a sword for blind?
Well, I mean, the hammer is available. You can use that. Also, Cane O'Brien.
Yeah.
Also Cane of Samaria. So, but yeah, there's the reason I wouldn't necessarily go back there is because Thieves Town's a pendant. But there's the ice rod.
And a sword.
So, well.
All right, so JP is gonna head back. I believe he got 3 items.
I think it was 2. You had the small key and the big key, and the ice rod and the sword.
Oh, right. Okay, yes. Counting is hard sometimes.
Counting is overrated. That's what we have calculators for.
In our pockets. Against what my teachers always told me. So Kari is heading through the desert now to see what she finds.
Gonna find a whole lot of diddly squat, but apparently checked Agina's cave already.
Yes, she did that before going in.
All right, so Brewers Fan heading through the back of Thieves Town.
Gonna rescue the fake maiden. Spoilers.
Sorry about that. Apparently, I pulled my my Ethernet cable out.
Speaking of Ethernet, JP just got Ether.
Very nice. Now all they got to do is pick up the bug net.
Oh my god. That is an interesting strat for doing fake flippers, JP.
Yep. Sometimes you just want to get up here and not have a flute.
All right, Buffy, what do you got? Just a big 20.
I mean, if it's the witch, wouldn't it be Willow? Sorry, I'm done.
Probably, yeah. Karaoke is currently clearing out the town and didn't find much of anything. Just a couple of big 20s, a couple of arrows. Village of Outcasts.
We did see a little interesting strategy from Brewers Fan here. He actually went to turn in the mushroom and then just reset the game. Just straight reset it.
That's what happened. Okay.
So the idea is he keeps the mushroom that way and can do the fake powder glitch if he never finds the powder.
Very smart move.
So right now we're still looking for the bow, the flippers, the mirror, the hook shot, and the fire rod.
Yep. And another sword upgrade.
Yep. There's the powder.
Yeah. Oh, JP.
But it feels good to have powder, if you ask me.
Oh, yeah. When you're in the depths of Ganon's Tower and you've got some anti-fairies, just powder them up, get some fairies.
Yep. I also like using it in Turtle Rock. It's a pretty good place to use it. Misery Mire. Basically, all of those dungeons where all the enemies do more damage than they should. There also just happen to be anti-fairies lying around. So, Karaoke has the blacksmith.
JP's trying to set up a bomb jump so that he can find out what's in this big chest back here.
And just a small key, so it looks like perhaps the one remaining item for Skull Woods may be in the back. And you're going to need the fire rod to get it.
So far, all of the dungeons that they have traveled into, they've been locked out of the back half, so they haven't been able to actually finish any of them.
Yeah, the whole completing dungeons thing is a rare animal. Though, I thought Brewers Fan finished Thieves Town, but maybe not.
I don't remember remember seeing him fight blind.
Yeah, that's an interesting idea. Maybe something went wrong. Oh yeah,
Must have checked the.
that makes sense.
Yeah, must have checked the very back chest, the big chest there, and then quit it out of there.
Yeah, he got 4 items and pieced out. That makes sense. So he cleared out Thieves Town, he just didn't finish it. And based on the fact that he knows the pedestal is not required, that's an excellent call.
Yeah, with that extra intel, he knows whether or not to finish it or not. Those will be last resorts for sure.
So BrewersFan will finally be picking up his flute here in Eastern Palace. The flute, by itself, would give access to both the 2 locations on Death Mountain, by the logic, and of course the Misery Mire area. So yeah, but the progression here could be in Spectacle Rock, it could be in Pod, it could be at Pyramid Catfish, could be in Mire area. Oh, and by the way, with that mushroom check we saw a little while ago, we can officially say that Hype Cave was officially 0 out of 10, would not hype again.
Yeah. Yeah, I think Pod is probably the next place that the runners need to go.
All right. So BrewersFan gonna go get debated by the big chest over here.
Karaoke checking out the pyramid. And probably gonna go up to see what Catfish holds. They haven't been up to Zora, have they?
Yeah, no, neither player has been to Zora, and neither player has checked the waterfall cave next to Zora.
Yeah, so it's 4 items that potentially could have something important.
Oh, wow, silver arrows on the pyramid.
Yes, that helps. With all the bosses they still need to defeat.
Yeah, you're definitely going to want those if you see them, unless you're memeing.
Yeah.
That reminds me of the finals from last spring tournament, where in the final match both players dug up the silver arrows and left them.
Yeah, they had an agreement, didn't they? That they wouldn't use them? Yeah.
Alright, so Karaoke is going to check the Catfish, yet another location that has a high trolling potential, as it's way off in the corner here, and a lot of people don't like doing it.
Yeah, especially without the mirror.
BrewersFan will now say hi to everyone's favorite swag duck.
And Karaoke just found the big 20.
Yep. So at this point, we're looking at progression over in either Pod or Mire area, I think. Karaoke's going to turn in the mushroom. And Brewers Fan is going to do Magic Bat. That's another progression I had not thought about. Just a piece of heart from Magic Bat today. And it looks like Brewers Fan will be heading off to Meyer. Did find the Ether Medallion inside Thieves Town. So it could be that Meyer requires its vanilla medallion. And it does.
Oh, look at that. Yep. That was good. I mean,
So
statistically speaking, it would be pretty likely.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is, at the beginning of the seed, when the seed is generated, like, those requirements are, like, the first things that get decided. Either that or the crystals, but it's really close. But also, based on the fact that you have the medallion, it's a little more likely to be that medallion.
Yeah, absolutely.
We got this whole thing about prior and posterior probabilities. We could go into statistics, but I think we'll be okay. And we got Brewers Fan going to rescue the old man up on Death Mountain.
In the dark.
I think Brewers Fan is trying desperately to avoid having to dip pod without the bow. Nobody wants to do that. And Kariohki is making her way through Thieves Town. Gonna get some pretty important items in here. There are at least 3 very required things in here.
I'm sure she'll be very happy to find a sword, among other things.
Yep.
Ether medallion.
And I always just find it reassuring when I find the ice rod, just because that thing has the potential to troll the living snot out of you.
Yeah, because it's only required for the back
Oh
of...
my goodness.
Oh dear.
That was the hook shot.
Oh, excellent. Okay, so that means they can go through Eastern Death Mountain. That's good.
Yeah. Wow, that is kind of trolly. You don't really want to go up to Death Mountain without either the hook shot or, mirror and hammer. And then the hook shot's up here, so, well...
That's good. I mean, it's kind of like when you go into Thieves Town and you find the sword.
Yep. I was coming out, when they were coming out of Escape, I was thinking, I wonder if one of them just sequence breaks Death Mountain right now. And that would have been an excellent move. Oh, and Brewers Fan gets trolled by everybody's least favorite troll.
Yeah, those darn squirrels.
See, I like the powder. The powder is my favorite item, not close. Mostly because it's, a really good safety item and I'm just not good at the game. But it also kills those things, and that makes it doubly good.
Ooh, hey!
We got swimming time. We got flippers. Flippy floppies.
Now we're just missing Summer.
There we go. And bees! Which, to be fair, is actually the first bottle.
It is the first bottle.
That is kind of unnerving. I mean, you've got a lot of health and you've got red mail, so health isn't really an issue, but wow. Pretty late for the first bottle. We have a extremely important item on the floating island. Kappa.
So it looks like JP is going to head into Tower of Hera.
Yeah. I was going to say, I think you might check the ether tablet on the way. He's not going to get the item, but he can at least know what it is. It is 3 bombs.
Not what he's looking for.
Yep, at this point, we need the mirror, we need the bow, and we need the fire rod. We wouldn't say no to boots.
That's true, too.
And there's always the off chance that those are required. I have seen races completely ruined by the fact that the boots were required in Ganon's Tower, so... Ah, yes, we will need to see what the medallion for Turtle Rock is before we can make that official determination. Kariohki will now be fluting away. Where to? We're going to 6 or we're going to 1?
It's a pretty tough decision.
We're going to 3, apparently. Maybe we're going to be checking Skull Woods. Hey, there's that net. Now we have Ethernet.
Excellent.
And it's time to fight Trolldorm. I imagine we'll be employing hammer strats here today.
Yep, 3 hits. And he'll be done.
Yeah, upside with hammer strats, no chance of it triggering the speed Trolldorm mode. Downside, it's easier to get knocked off. Now, did we get both items, or was the compass in the middle chest in the room downstairs?
Unfortunately, I am unable to remember.
Yeah, I was paying attention to Kariohki's flute strat. JP is sure acting like there's not an item down there.
He has no way of getting it.
Oh yeah. We still don't have a fire source. It's 49 minutes in. Who would think 49 minutes in, no fire source? Who designed this Plando? I mean, wait, never mind. That's not a thing. So Kariohki is having a little bit of a think about where to go next. We're fluting to 1, which is...
It's a tough call, really.
Fluting to 1 is going to do Kariohki some good here. We're going to get the hook shot, flippers. We found a bomb upgrade anyway, so it doesn't matter. In Hera. And Kariohki, not even checking Spectacle Rock, just going for it. Which is, you know, pretty heads up routing on her part. Because she knows basically this is the only thing that's left in logic for her. Well, except for Meyer Shed. Unless she went to Meyer Shed. I don't remember seeing it.
She didn't.
Hey, there's another bottle.
Mm-hmm. So I think JP is probably going to check Hookshot Cave, and then we might be able to see what Turtle Rock requirements are.
Yep, that does seem likely. I would definitely check Turtle Rock's requirement at this point. It is also ether.
Exactly. Yeah, so you know what would be an interesting play for Turtle Rock is if the turtle was hiding the fire rod in there somewhere.
That's a very rare occasion, but possible. There's Bombos, which is very interesting because that now gives us the possibility that the fire rod is in Ice Palace.
Yep.
Another place I might check if I were Brewers fan is Spike Cave, which is where he's headed right now, it looks like. Yep. Spike Cave is ever so slightly more likely to be required in a seed where you started with the Cane of Brian.
We're going to see Kariohki pick up some flippers, while JP goes through Spike Cave.
Just a piece of heart today, so nothing doing there. Kariohki picking up her first bottle. And Brewers Fan is purchasing some potions because it seems like there may be an Ice Palace trip in his future. That being said, we are first going to get a look at Zora and all of the wonderful items up in this direction. All right.
Looked like there was nothing in a waterfall cave.
Yep, there was a piece of heart, something else. So, yeah, Bombo's tablet wasn't looked at when Meyer was checked, but that's mainly because you wouldn't go to Bombo's tablet from Meyer. You'd go there from the swamp side. Nobody wants to do swamp because you have them, and you can't do that because you have them. You need a mirror anyway. BrewersFan is going to be walking out from Zora because this is basically the fastest way to get... I don't know. I think it might be a little faster to just save and quit and then flute to 8. But who knows?
Yeah, it looks like Ice Palace is on his mind.
Yeah, he picked up a bunch of potions en route. I think it's likely that BrewersFan will be heading directly for Ice Palace. Kariohki had a little bit of trouble pulling off the hookshot glitch with these blocks here, and then decided to leave and come back instead of just going up the stairs, doing it the old-fashioned way. Bombos being applied to Freezors. So, did you know in that particular room there's a glitch that you can achieve that's similar to the despawn glitch in Ganon's Tower?
Nope.
Yeah, if you kill the last enemy as you head down the stairs, you'll displace all the sprites in the rest of the dungeon and be basically unable to complete it until you leave.
Oh, yeah, that'd be unfortunate.
Which is why I just make it a point not to kill all 3 of those berries.
I remember being a kid once being in Ganon's Tower and somehow glitching to the castle. I was still in Ganon's Tower, but it had all of the castle sprites and everything. It was really strange. I couldn't do anything.
Very strange.
So it looks like JP isn't going to do the Ice Palace bomb jump today, which is a smart move when you're going through all of the other chests.
Yeah, if you're going to full clear and you have the Cane of Samaria, there's really no reason to do the bomb jump. If you hear something strange in the background, it's because it is noon on a Saturday and it's time for the official tornado siren test around here.
Oh, man. Can't be too safe, right? Oh, did Kariohki die before getting into Spike Cave chest?
It looks like it might have been the case. Hopefully that won't come back to haunt her. She might have gotten it and then just died. Yeah, unfortunate.
I don't think there was anything there anyway, right?
No, it's just a piece of heart. Hopefully they won't go back for it, is what I'm saying.
Oh, yeah. I think it'll be kind of last on the list of things.
Well, I saw one item there in Ice Palace. It was the single green rupee. So that's real important.
Is that the only single green rupee in the game?
No, there's a couple of them. So there's 2 green rupees and a single green arrow, and those are kind of considered the, mythical, awful prizes.
The worst. Yeah, green arrow.
Did I say a single green arrow?
Yeah.
I That okay.
Green arrows and green rupees.
If there was a chest with a single green arrow in it, you'd probably really want that. Speaking of green arrow, you know what he uses?
Not a bow.
Are you sure about that? I'm pretty sure there's a bow.
Yeah, that was a bow.
So the bow in Ice Palace, that's gonna open up all of pod, meaning the play to stay away from pod so far has been pretty good.
So it looks like Karaoke decided to follow in JP's footsteps to go down to the warp to get to Ice Palace.
Yeah, it's very possible that pod has had the lamp this whole time. That actually seems pretty likely at this point. Yep, don't believe Brewers Fan has made it to the pyramid, which is where the silver arrows are. Oh, imagine if you get to Ganon, and he says, "Did you find the silver arrows in the Dark World?"
Wouldn't he say the exact position?
No,
or he would say like the overworld of it.
He would just say Dark World in this mode. Like in Entrance Randomizer, he's a little more specific. But in this, it's just basically the region it's in. So if it's in a dungeon, he'll tell you it's in a dungeon. It's in that dungeon. If it's in Sick Kid with a Master Sword.
No big deal, you know. I actually saw a seed recently where the arrows were actually on the pyramid and one of the runners didn't get them.
And that's interesting. Now, Brewers Fan is about to embark on one of the more difficult fights I've seen so far. Now, they do have the hammer, so you can use hammer strats on Cold Stare, but that means you're going to have to get up close and personal. And now we know why Brewers Fan decided to go buy 1,000,000 potions before coming to Ice Palace.
Yeah, he was planning on using hammer strats. Now, can you imagine that these little puffballs are holding onto the fire rod?
I mean, that's par for the course, isn't it? If you find Bombos, you know Cold Stare has the fire rod. That's how it works, right?
There's a very distinct possibility.
Now, Karaoke is going to have a little bit of a better time once she decides to go to Ice Palace on account of having the Master Sword. Now, it's just a small key, and I think we probably would have known that had we been counting. Now, the fact that there is a small key on Cold Stare means that the logic for Ice expected you to have that Cane of Samaria from Agina's cave. Karaoke also making the potion play. That signals that Ice Palace might be in her future as well.
Most definitely. All right, JP. Oh, JP's gonna get the Master Sword.
Get the Master Sword. Be like, you kidding me right now? You've been hanging on to this the whole time? So that mirror is still pretty elusive. And the fire rod, of course. So Brewers Fan picked up the bow and is now heading to the Dark World through the Kakariko portal. I'm not sure where he's going. Oh, he's doing blacksmith? Alright.
Oh yeah, he hasn't done that one yet.
Yeah, because I know sometimes you get caught up in the fact that this seed is trolling you so hard. Clearly the mirror is going to be on blacksmith or purple chest or something like that. Yeah, there was a ped check 9 minutes in when Brewers Fan found the book, and there was just a piece of heart, so Brewers Fan has actually been aware that the pedestal is not required this entire time, which led him to the correct conclusion that he should not kill blind. Kariohki, on the other hand, just decided not to kill blind.
Alright, let's go to Pod.
Pod seems like it would be a nice play. Brewers Fan probably going to hit up the purple chest. I imagine he's got that on his mind. But
yeah,
after
leave
that,
no stone unturned, I guess.
yeah, after that, I think Pod might be right up his alley. Yeah, there are plenty of pedestal seeds all the time. I imagine over the course of the tournament, you'll probably get about two or so a week. Maybe 3 or 4.
Well, there's 500 plus matches in a week.
So I guess it'd be closer to like 25 pedestal seeds in a week. Now, not all of them are going to be restreamed. And a lot of the ones where, quote, pedestal is required there, it's actually only required by the logic. So the gloves, one was in the back of Escape, and one was literally right next to where JP is right now. The bow is in Ice Palace, and Kariohki is about to get it.
That she is. And JP is finally going to do this pod play.
Alright, it's pod time. Or is it? Looks like BrewersFanJP is going to head over to the pyramid first, which is going to make his life infinitely better.
Yep. Especially since he does have the bow.
He can make use of this upgraded ammunition. You know, if we're going to have silver arrows, I think we need more werewolves in this game, so that we can put them to good use.
I don't know if there's any werewolves in Buffy.
Maybe.
JP isn't going to check catfish. Just going to grab those arrows and head right into pod. Uh-oh. Okay, so Karaoke has maybe figured out how to get through. Maybe not.
Gotta get the key under the pot here, and then lift some. There's a spot. Yeah, there we go. Okay, I was worried that there was a problem here, but I think we're fine.
We're fine. Everything's okay.
Alright, so small key in the first chest, as you might expect. That's the thing with pod. 6 keys in the chests and so many of the locations being locked behind them. You're gonna need lots of keys up front. Not sure what's going through Karioki's mind right now, but she is very close to picking up the bow. You know what? I'm guessing. I have a guess at what's happening. Yep, there's the lamp.
There's the lamp. So what were you going to say?
I'm guessing that Karioki is not has not had to full clear ice a lot and had to figure out exactly where she was.
Yeah. Hopefully looking at a map somewhere.
Right. I imagine that's what's happening. Pulling up a map, figuring out what's going on.
I guess it was fairly reasonable to assume that we would find the lamp over here.
Karioki,
because...
no.
Oh.
She didn't spawn the chest that has the bow in it.
Oh no! Oh no.
She went over there, lifted the pot, never hit the switch.
Oh dear, this is going to be so sad.
The reason I noticed this is because it's something I've done before, so it's not like a completely uncommon mistake, but it is gonna be devastating today. Oh my goodness.
How required is the bow, though?
Super, super, super required. You need it for pod, for one thing. Like, you can't even clear it without the bow. You need it for Eastern, but you don't need it. We don't have to clear Eastern. But you also need the bow to go up Ganon's tower. There's mimics on the way up. There's nothing you can do about it.
Those mimics up Ganon's tower.
So, bow is going to be required in every seed 100%, and that is just the worst.
life lessons.
Yeah, it's a terrible time to learn them.
It sure is, yeah. Yeah, hopefully she's keeping track of all the keys and items that she's been picking up.
Go right. Please go right. Nope. Wait.
Oh.
Wait.
Oh.
Oh. Hold on. No. Yes? No.
What?
She kept going close to that door. I'm like, if you go that way, you'll get...
Okay, yeah. I totally forgot that this statue also needs to have a bow.
Yeah. So one of the things is if you're doing Randomizer, the only place that the bow is necessarily required is for that statue.
The moderately good-looking statue.
Uh-huh. I'm told there's a meme from like NMG on that one. I don't really understand it. But I know its name comes up in the practice ROM, and I'm like, really?
Yeah, I know, I saw it.
Who came up with that idea?
Is she chest hunting?
Yeah, I think so. I think at least Kariohki realizes something's missing here.
Yeah. Hopefully she'll look through like a full clear guide and notice what she's missing, please.
Oh, good. She's heading out. She might go to the ferry room. We'll see. No, she is aware something's missing. That is good. It's not going to take her forever to come back here. That seems like the sort of thing I would do.
She's going the right way anyway. And she's walking purposefully, so please. Meanwhile, JP just did a wonderful fight on Helmosaur.
Yep. And it looks like JP is heading back into pod because he did not full clear it. We are wanting to get a few more items. And so you don't really want to leave chests lying around here in pod. Wait, no, Kariohki, no. She was just going around to get the block pushed, I guess.
Oh.
Which is kind of unfortunate because you can use the Cane of Samaria.
Well, that puts Bumper Cave into logic, having that cape.
Yeah. I'm not sure if anyone's checked that yet. That's a little surprising, but not actually really that surprising because there's nothing else up there you could check. Oh, I am feeling the pain for Kariohki right now.
So JP still didn't find the fire rod in pod.
All right.
Oh, Karaoke missed the blue potion just by a fraction of a second there.
Oh no.
But, I mean, it might be a blessing in disguise because maybe it might trigger her memory a little bit.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's going to take a little while for her to get to that room either way, because she did use both of her keys on other doors, so she will not be able to take the shortcut through the locked door on the way down. So Brewer's Fan is going to go finish off Landmola's, because as you recall, they have an item, and we just now got our first fire source.
That is true.
Yeah. Ilyana Tracker in chat making a pretty solid observation that this is kind of unlocking 3 items. Because gives you the access to the Pyramid Fairy as well.
That is definitely a good point.
That is an awfully full item menu for Brewer's Fan over there.
Yeah, we've almost got all the items that you could possibly get in this game. Those silver arrows do a number on Landmola's.
Yep, I think that number is 1.
Convenient.
As in the number of times you have to shoot them. Oof. Karaoke. Hook shots into the fire bar. That can occasionally happen. Not saying I've done it myself, but I have.
It can burn you a little bit.
Yeah, so what happened was Karaoke went into the room with the Stalfos and the hammer pegs, lifted the pot, threw it at the Stalfos, didn't hit the switch underneath it, never spawned the chest. Ooh. I mean, certainly not going to argue with the presence of a tempered sword here on Bumper Cave.
Yeah, you can't complain about that.
So pod leading you to your 3rd sword upgrade.
I mean, it wasn't what you were looking for per se, but it's still good to have.
Alrighty, so looks like Brewer's Fan is headed to the South Dark World for something. Perhaps a catfish check? Well, of course, the
yeah,
pyramid fairy. Duh. We
That's
just
it.
talked about this.
Yep.
And then maybe catfish afterwards if that doesn't work out. Ooh. Brewers fan with a nice double purchase technique.
I don't know if he meant to do that though.
I mean, maybe he wanted to fill up on bombs. That's basically quite a few bombs there for 100 rupees. It's kind of a bargain compared to some of the other places. That means you never have to worry about picking up bombs again, basically.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, mirror!
Yes. So that's swamp access.
Ew. But I mean, when that's all that the game gives to you, you suck it up and go to swamp. Now, the meanest thing would be there's nothing in swamp, and it turns out the fire rod was in Turtle Rock all along.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking earlier anyway.
Or that the fire rod is in Mire. That's probably even meaner.
Yeah, that would be worse. That Viddy has it. Karaoke just finished up Cold Star here. Okay, so she has found the key. Hopefully she's realized that there's still one item back in there. Let's see what she does.
Yeah, I hope she kept careful track of her items. Otherwise, we're going to be in for a long, confusing chain of events.
Okay, so this is good. She's got her pause menu up. She's thinking.
Brewers fan gonna go check the Bombos tablet.
Definitely a smart move.
Just bombs on Bombos. Get back in there, Karaoke.
We believe in you. Ooh. No.
So we had nothing but bombs on both of the tablets, actually.
Yeah, that's true, actually, yeah.
And Karaoke will now be heading to another location. I would guess Pod is basically all that's open to her at the moment. She could go Mire.
That is an unfortunate place for that to be frozen, the dead rock to be frozen, because it meant that she wasn't able to actually clip through.
Are we maybe going to see a T-Rock dive here?
Yeah. Desperate times call for desperate measures, or whatever the phrase is.
Yeah, and I think the desperation here measures quite large.
Yep. I mean, it could still produce a fire rod.
Yep, there is that. All right. So Brewers Fan gonna go check the Swamp Palace area. We'll see if he skips left side or not. I think that was Vanilla. Brewers Fan is going to skip left side, so the fire rod is back here. That's going to be great for Brewers Fan. Otherwise, it's going to be not quite as great. Personally, I would probably skip left side here myself.
Yeah, if you don't find what you're looking for, you could always go back in and full clear, but this is a smart move.
Alright, so there's the big key in the waterfall chest. That means likely another trip may be in our future. But Argus could have the fire rod, and that would render the second trip completely useless.
There is a possibility. At this point, though, I have a sneaking suspicion that JP is going to have to go back in.
JP lands that silver arrow on Argus and just a piece of heart.
Yep. So he'll probably dip back in.
Yeah, I was going to say, I can't imagine any scenario in which he doesn't go back.
Yeah, it's faster to go back in as opposed to leave and try again later, because then you have to drain the swamp and do all that fun stuff.
All right, so Kariohki gonna go face off against Trolldorm. Brewers Fan finds +5 bombs in the big chest. And Kariohki gets thrown into the wrong hole on Trolldorm.
Yeah, if you're gonna fall, it's good to fall on the other sides, because otherwise you have to fall down 2 floors.
It is, as they say, less than ideal.
Alright, JP, we got 2 chests back here. What are we gonna find?
So Kariohki started this fight with a Master Sword slash, so I think this hammer is going to put it into speed mode. We got a burrito. One last chance for BrewersFanJP. It's a big 20. That's it for Swamp. As usual, Swamp is garbage.
And a little bit dry.
Well, it is after you deal with the damp.
Yep. So
Well,
JP.
sorry.
Oh, I was just gonna say JP is gonna head into Mire now.
So the reason you would want the hammer strats on Trolldorm is it only takes 3 hits, and Trolldorm will not enter the super speed state if you hit him with nothing but hammer hits. You can do spin attacks with the Master Sword, and that will do the same amount of damage as the hammer. But if you get a slash or a poke, it's going to be the same as the Fighter Sword, which could put it into the super speed state.
The nice thing about having your sword out, though, is that as long as you're not, or as long as you're not holding the direction that you're gonna fall into, you can save yourself. And there she goes again. Oh.
I mean, at this point, if I'm Kariohki, I am completely on tilt, and I'm just like, Argh.
Not even just tilted, just complete 180, flipped upside down. JP is heading out over to the graveyard area to use the mirror spots that have just opened up, having the mirror.
Yeah, apparently he was going to go to Mire and then decided I guess he checked Checkerboard Cave and then decided, you know what? Nope.
It's a good call.
Though finding the fire rod here in Graveyard Ledge after full clearing Swamp would feel pretty bad. Kariohki finishing off Trolldorm this time.
That was good, because she managed to grab 2 hammer hits in there without Moldorm moving at all. So that was fantastic.
And we've got bees!
Bees everywhere.
And I think we're going to get a catfish check from BrewersFan as well. And potentially a additional purchase of potions.
Yeah, that would be a smart move.
He's exactly 2 rupees shy of being able to afford 4 blue ones.
That's some good math you got there.
It's arithmetic. That's what calculators are for.
Yeah. Alright, Kariohki, where are you gonna go?
So Kariohki could head into Pod, which would get them the lamp. To get her the lamp. And then that might lead her to Lanmola's, which would lead her to the mirror, which would lead her to Swamp, which would be a massive waste of time.
Well, it would get her all the crystals.
Yeah, except for the Pod one, because
Yeah.
Bo would not be there. Alright, so Kariohki is fluting 2. She's got 6 highlighted. Looks like a Meyer check may be in our future.
You never know. There could be a fire rod back there, and also she could... Oh no, she doesn't have the mirror, so she wouldn't be able to go into desert from here.
Right. So it looks like Brewers Fan is having nothing to do with Meyer and is instead banking on Turtle Rock containing the fire rod. Odds are if it's not here, it's a very short check.
Definitely, because there's just the one chest here that is right at the beginning.
Now, of course, you could get strung along by several small keys, so it could end up becoming a longer check, but...
Yeah, having all those keys could bring them into a wild goose chase.
And then there's that weird scenario where you can actually have the fire rod on Laser Bridge, but it's very rare.
That would require a lot of extra logic.
So it would have had to have placed a small key in this first chest and the Chain Chomp chest. The vanilla big key has the big key, and then another key in one of the vanilla big chest or the crystal roller room. That would get you to Laser Bridge without the fire rod. And all of those key placements are decided independently of any item placements.
Well, so far, you've got your chain happening here.
Now, these 2 small keys also give us the possibility of Fire Rod in Mimic Cave. I mean, you can blame it on me, because I did say it would be terrible if they go through Swamp and it's been in Turtle Rock the whole time. So no big key in that chest, meaning the only other place that Brewers Fan can currently check is Mimic Cave.
I also see that Kariohki is in Meyer, so there is a potential for there being the fire rod there as well.
Yeah, I'm kind of hoping for her sake it's there. But then again, that might lead her to Desert, which would lead her to the Mirror, which would lead her to Swamp, which is a giant waste of time.
All right, Mimic Cave, what do we have?
And it's a bust. Turtle Rock does not contain the fire rod either.
That's rough.
So Brewers Fan is making the play on Armos Knights having it. That is a possibility. As we recall, we only found 2 items in Eastern. And so the early double dip Eastern, or the required double dip pendant Eastern, sounds like a great thing.
Yeah, the way things are going.
I can tell the BrewersFanJP here is not a fan of Misery Mire. Let's put it that way. I mean, it's not called Misery Mire for nothing.
Karaoke is making her way through. Let's see what she comes up with here. She's found a lot of keys so far, not many items.
Half magic.
Magic.
On the Armos Knights, so still looking for that fire rod. Skullwoods, Turtle Rock both basically cleared out. I'm not sure if Brewers went to like the back room of Skullwoods where the Gibdos are, and you gotta cover the switch with either the statue or the Canis Amaria block. But I think he did.
He did, yeah. He has accepted his fate. It is time to go to Misery Mire. Will he throw the pterodactyl?
He might. I feel like he might get his rage worked out.
That was some good rage. Yep.
I felt the hammer time coming. I was just like, no, he's not in the mood for this kind of shenanigans.
Not today, not even once.
And what do we say to the bird toss? Not today.
Not today, mate.
This has been Awkward Fake British Accent Hour. Wow.
So, if the fire rod isn't in this dungeon, what do we got? We have the torch room in Hera.
No, there's nothing in there. We found both
somebody took
items in
that.
Hera.
Oh.
No, we found both items. There was a bomb upgrade and a bug net.
Oh, okay.
And I think that's actually the other item here in Mire. Which is 300 rupee.
Yes, the Hazrela could have their fire rod that they're missing that is being so elusive this seed.
Well, no, I guess maybe there wasn't. We haven't seen the other item. I think it's on Vidi. All right. So, Brewers fan making his way toward Vitreous.
Karaoke found as much as she wanted out of Mire and is now heading through Skull Woods.
Yeah, I don't wish these dark rooms of Mire on anyone. And she has not made her way into Pod yet, so... So by the logic, I believe the lamp, even though it's in that vanilla big key chest, I believe the logic would want you to have the bow first. Because of the number of keys required. There it is, the fire rod on Vitreous. We're good.
Yep. We are ready to go.
And so Brewers Fan has basically cleared out every possible location available and will now be in go mode.
Yep, it is definitely go mode.
Well, it's 95-point-some odd percent go mode.
We're talking about the boots again?
We are.
Oh, yeah. So both of our runners are currently in Skullwoods at the same time, just in slightly different areas.
Yes, unfortunately, Kariohki is in here for an entirely different reason.
She's looking for some progression. Oh. The hand grabbed her, so now she's gotta get this cane block going. And JP cleans up our moth friend, Mothula, for a map.
Yep. And Kariohki gets that vanilla big key today. So if you're BrewersFanJP, you found one item in Skullwoods, if I'm not mistaken. That means the remaining item is in that bridge chest. Would you potentially check it in case it's the boots and they're required?
I don't know. I probably would.
I don't know if I would. It's sort of a heat of the moment decision. Depends on how trolled I'm feeling at the time.
I'm not much of a gambler, so I definitely would.
All right, so BrewersFanJP heading into Turtle Rock to finish it off. Kariohki, of course, picking up the best item in the game.
The single arrow of doom.
Nah, man, the powder was in there.
Oh, the powder.
Yeah. I think the single arrow was up on the floating island.
Oh, yeah.
But yes, the magic powder, actually best item in the game. And,
Yeah, it can definitely save you in those dire moments.
do you know, I didn't realize you could actually hookshot to those pots in the back of the room over there for the vanilla strats for this big key chest.
Oh, yeah?
The big chest. I did not know you could do that. I thought you had to fall in from above. I'm a smart person.
Well, you know, you learn things.
Oh, I guess my count in Skullwoods was off. Uh-oh, boots time. We got boots and big key.
Oh, yay! So now we don't have to worry if the big key is on the torch or not.
Yep, that is certainly a great place to find them. And so now BrewersFan is in absolute 100% go mode. I don't expect any extraneous chest checking from this point on.
Yeah, he's just gonna fly.
I probably wouldn't even bother checking for butter. especially, Brewers fan, despite the fact that he's clearly quite a bit ahead, he has to feel behind because there's no way that he can know Kariohki had such a mishap with the bow. And he had to clear out basically everything before finding that fire rod.
Yeah, that's pretty rough.
Well, there's the butter sword.
Just in case you needed it. Here you go.
So, and that was in a chest that he was going to check anyway, because you need the small keys. There will be a small key in this chest, and there'll be one on the laser bridge somewhere. Knowing my luck, always the fourth one you check. Doesn't matter what order you do it in, it'll be the last one.
Well, luckily he'll be able to clip through the lasers a lot easier with the boots. It's hard to do when you don't have boots.
Yep. And he could also use that ever so versatile cane of Brian that they picked up way at the beginning of the game.
Yeah. Well, there you go. JP just picked up that key.
Well, at least the seed is being nice in one small respect. So the bow was in the room just before the vanilla big key chest in Ice Palace, where you have to lift the rock with the bunny beam under it and pound the hammer pegs and hit a switch under a pot to spawn the switch. Well, Kariohki went in there, lifted the pot with the switch under it, threw it at the Stalfos, pulled the tongue, never actually stepped on the switch, never spawned the chest, didn't get the bow. It's the magical boomerang. On Trinex today.
Not bad.
Kariohki is heading back to Spike Cave. Oh, no.
Yeah, Kariohki's gonna check everything. And we see JP getting into Ganon's tower. Meanwhile, Kariohki places a bomb on the chest she just opened, clearly dissatisfied with the results.
All right, BrewersFanJP entering Ganon's tower. And let's see what chest we think this is going to be in. So we found a small key on the right-hand side, but BrewersFan not interested in taking a right-side play. Heading into the Stalfos room, or DM's room as it's sometimes called. We get another small key, a blue rupee, a piece of heart, and another small key.
And a lot of bombs.
So I know what my strategy would do at this point, but JP is headed to continue down the left side. The lamp is in pod, so Karioki's about to get the lamp, I think. Unless they avoid the vanilla big key chest. There's Quake. So that is the full Y item complement for BrewersFanJP.
Ooh, yeah. Looks good. Missing a bottle, I think, though.
Trying to throw off the counter by checking the chest in the rando room in a sort of diagonalized order.
Well, he's got a little bit of 13. Swag.
Now, my traditional guess for this is Bob's chest. But my strategy for this would have actually had me leave after the Stalfos room and go right side. It's a very weird strategy. And it changes based on how many small keys you find.
Yeah. I guess it would also... It makes sense because there's a pretty quick check on the left side there when you go up. And then you can swing over to the other side just to check before coming all the way through this part.
And it looks like right-hand side is the play. Now, will we get a tile room check? Or will that be the last thing that Brewers Fan does? Looks like tile room is the last possibility for Brewers Fan. Certainly don't blame him. It's quite a long check for one silly chest.
Yeah.
$19 chests, 20 chests, 21. There we are in the compass chest.
Man. So if you had have used your strat, you would have had it almost right away.
Let's see. Well, my strat also would have checked towel room first, so.
Oh.
Yeah.
That would have been an extra couple minutes.
Yeah.
Karioki is going to drop down here, climb back up into the vanilla big key chest and grab this lamp. I'm sure she'll be slightly pleased about this result. Maybe not exactly what she's looking for, but we'll get her on her way to be able to complete more of the dungeons.
Karioki finds the lamp.
Yep.
Maybe
I'd be pretty confused. Yeah, I was just gonna say, I would be fairly confused at this point, not knowing what to do next.
If she's checked the bridge chest, which I don't know if she has, and that's not a small key, she may come to the right conclusion that the lamp is technically bow locked. Oh, never mind. I actually think the lamp isn't technically bow locked now. If you can find 5 of the other small keys, then the dungeon will let you have that lamp.
JP taking on Landmolus Point 2.
Yep. Using a mixture of silver arrow and gold sword strats, just applying all the precious metals to worms today. I mean, I guess we don't have platinum stuff, but we'll deal with that.
I wonder if that's what the riot shield is made out of. Platinum.
Maybe. It would have to be an alloy. Generally, platinum has a similar color to that of silver. Riot shield is vibranium. Okay, got it. But can I throw it at things? Riot shield is made out of tears from bad seeds.
Like this one.
Oh, this has not been kind. Misery Mire having the fire rod on Vitreous in the final spot. The first fire source coming in like an hour and 15 minutes in. The bow and Ice Palace. Just, you know, not the world's greatest seed. BrewersFan taking a little bit of a beating in the true final boss room.
And letting them know exactly how he feels about it.
He has no interest in dealing with that anymore.
Yep.
The good news is Kariohki just picked up the cape, so the tempered sword might happen.
Oh, these are tough energy balls to deal with.
Yeah, I do not envy these patterns one bit.
All right, JP, let's see how your gold sword and silvers work on our big pig.
Yep. At the very least, this should be a casual walk in the park to the finish. After such a trolley seed as this. Right, that should be enough hits to take him into phase 3.
Yeah, the butter sword is pretty fantastic to have.
So for the first 3, we had no extra teleports, but then we had a couple at the very end for Ganon. BrewersFan gets the torch glitch, no problem. Gets a second shot off on Ganon. Down to 1 heart, using the potion wisely.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And Ganon goes down, no problem. That's going to do it. And BrewersFanJP's official time on Speed Racing TV is 2 hours, 18 minutes, and 3 seconds. Congratulations.
Sweet. Yeah, good job.
All right, let's see if we can talk to BrewersFan.
Yep. And while we're waiting, it looks like Kariohki is going to pick up the tempered sword, so she will definitely be happy for that when she gets around to hopefully getting some of these bosses down and Ganon.
Yeah, she knows that her opponent has finished. The Speed Racing TV channel is available, and both players are aware. All right, and BrewersFanJP will be joining us soon.
It looks like Kariohki is going to head back into Mire to finish off and face up against Vitreous. Kind of tough to do without the ice arrows, wow, the silver arrows. But definitely having the tempered just before coming in here is going to make it much easier to kill the eyeballs.
Yep, and Kariohki could manage to acquire that fire rod while they're here, and you know, at least make some progress toward beating Turtle Rock and other dungeons like that.
Yeah, from what I can see, the only thing that she wouldn't be able to complete is Pod without the arrows. So once she gets through everything else and realizes that she's missing something.
Yeah. She need to finish Desert so that she can get the mirror from Pyramid Fairy. And it sounds like we have just been joined by JP, our winner today. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Are you surprised that you won?
I don't know, maybe a little bit, just because that seed was really rough.
Yeah, it was definitely a rough watch.
Yeah, it just kind of strung you along for the longest time looking for that fire rod. the real problem for your opponent is so you remember where the bow was?
Yeah, nice palace.
Yeah, specifically that room where you pull the tongue and make the chest appear with the switch, right?
Yeah.
She actually lifted the pot and never actually stepped on the switch.
Oh, man.
And so she ended up skipping that chest, and she is completely at a loss for where to go.
Oh, that's rough.
So other than that, how else did you feel about this seed? Do you regret any of your routing decisions? Do you feel like you should have done something different, or do you think that your routing was fine and the seed was just mean?
It's tough to say. I mean, I probably shouldn't have done as much overworld as I did, I guess, but I mean, my options towards the end there were just really bad. It was either dive Mire, dive the rest of Eastern, or dive Turtle Rock, or finish Overworld.
Yep.
And of course, it was basically the second to last place I looked. The last place was Saharsala.
Yep. Everybody else was thinking Sahasrahla was going to be it as well, but the Fire Rod was on Vitreous proper, so that made it a little bit better. I imagine that Swamp was as annoying to you as it is to me.
Yeah, as usual. I mean, I feel like with 6 chests, it always seems like a good check, but doesn't always pay off very well.
Swamp is always garbage, even when it's not. That's the official rule.
Now, that's not a logic or statistic thing, is it? It's just so happen that's how it happens.
Well, to be fair, Swamp, although it has 6 items, it actually does have a lower progression density than you would think a place with 6 items has.
I think it's mostly because it requires 3 items to really get in there, and then 4 to full complete it.
Right, and a couple of those items are unique requirements to that dungeon, you know?
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
So like the hook shot, the mirror, and I mean, if you really want to be technical, the flippers could be considered a unique requirement, although Ice Palace requires them in the logic. But yeah, it's a big old mess. Swamp is never fun to have to do, especially when it ends up having nothing.
Yeah, I think what's worse about this seed is not only did it basically send me everywhere, I had to go everywhere without the boots.
Oh yeah.
Luckily, we were talking about it being a fluteless seed at the very beginning, and then you ended up finding the flute fairly early.
Yeah. Technically, what was it? The progression in that, you had to go to Eastern to get the flute, to go up to Death Mountain to get the hook shot. And then, what was some of the other progression? You had to go into
Thieves Town to get Ether.
Was Ether in Thieves Town?
I believe so.
Yeah, it was on the Maiden's chest.
Oh, yeah, you're right. I remember Ice Rod was in Thieves Town. I didn't remember Ether was there.
So Thieves Town to get Ether.
You had to go to Pod to get the lamp to go finish Desert so you could get the mirror.
Right. The mirror's not required for Mire, though.
True, I guess you could have gone to get the Fire Rod instead, but yeah.
Kariohki did a really, really cool kill on Vitreous just now. She had full health, so was able to use the sword bonus to get all those eyeballs without needing to get too close to them.
Nicely done. All right,
nice.
so yeah, and actually, because Karaoke went straight to Vitreous, they have not actually located all of the items because one of them was locked behind the torch room.
So I'm guessing she hasn't been to pod yet then?
She's been to pod, but she just got back. So like she has the lamp coming in here, but she had already cleared out a lot of this already, so she just went to Vitreous. And now she's going to the fire rod lock side.
Yeah, well, I just pulled up the stream. Man, that's got to be rough not finding that bow.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was basically heartbreaking. As soon as I saw it happen, I was like, "Oh no." So, JP, you got anything else you want to say about this particular seed before we continue to follow Karaoke on the epic saga of finding the bow?
No, not really much else. I mean, this is probably about as rough as a way to start a tournament as I could get, but I mean, I'm glad to come out on top and start up 1-0, and I don't know if it can get much worse than this one.
All right. Well, congratulations once again.
Yes, congratulations.
Of course, you're welcome to, hang around and do whatever you want, but I imagine you probably have other things to do, so.
Yeah, I've got some other stuff to take care of today, so I was actually not planning that seed to take as long as it did, but yeah. Well, thanks for commentating, thanks for tracking, and yeah, thanks for the restream, and hope you guys all have a good day.
Take care now. So Karaoke just handed in the green pendant to Sahasrala and was awarded with a bottle with a fairy in it. She wasn't overly pleased with that.
Yeah, not particularly what she's looking for. Yeah, I wouldn't be, I don't wish this on anyone, but I wouldn't be surprised if this ends with Karaoke deciding that it's not worth her time.
Yeah, I think once she full clears as much as she can, I don't know if she'll remember that there's the one thing missing in Ice Palace.
All right, so Karaoke will be making her way back towards Mothula. I don't imagine this will be a particularly difficult fight. She has access to the Tempered Sword and Red Mail and Ton of Hearts. So, although Mothula can be particularly trolly if you are unprepared, this is hardly what I would call unprepared.
Getting those rage slashes in at the Gibdos.
Yep. Putting the sword beams to good use. You're not coming anywhere near me. It's not happening.
Not as scary as the Redeads from Ocarina of Time. Those ones are just creepy.
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and refrain from trying to do my impression of the scream that happens when you get caught by them.
Oh no, let's not.
I don't think I can hit that note.
So karaoke, taking on the moth. It takes 4 tempered sword hits. I'm actually not sure how much damage the fire rod does.
It does damage equal to that of the Master Sword, so we can hit with 8 fire rod hits. It will die.
Okay. So yeah, that was a clean kill.
No problem there. And karaoke is still really frustrated. I believe Ocarina of Time does have some sort of randomizer. I think it's mostly a door randomizer or an entrance randomizer. I knew there was an item in that chest. It's the riot shield.
Oh, now she can be completely ready. Riot shield, red mail. All she needs is that butter sword.
You know one thing that the riot shield is particularly effective against?
Riots?
Well, there is that, but also the the red mimics that shoot at you. You can just kind of take the hit because the mirror shield will block it. Unfortunately, you also need the bow to actually kill them.
Yeah, it's too bad it doesn't, like, it's a mirror shield, so you would think it would just ricochet off. Kill it that way.
Yeah, you would think. Unfortunately, not so much. Yeah, the Wizrobe shots do ricochet, but I don't think they actually hurt anything.
So it looks like karaoke is going to head back in and face off against Lamulus. That will bring her one step closer to having another crystal. So once she's done here, she'll have 4 crystals.
All right.
And she'll also be able to open up the Pyramid Fairy, which will get her the mirror and get her going into Swamp Palace. So she'll then be able to finish up Swamp Palace. And then she might be stuck from there.
Alrighty, we've got the Landmo fight, everybody's favorite diving worms. Kind of feel like you could take this to like a SeaWorld attraction. Just have them jump out of the water. Like,
Except it's sand instead of water.
right. You have the instead of the splash zone, I guess you'd have like the dust zone. All right, Karaoke is about to do the Pyramid Fairy. That's going to get the mirror, which is going to grant access to Swamp, which, as we know, is a giant waste of time. Yeah, this is going to be quite a long time of this seed stringing Karaoke along before she finally realizes that she has completely missed something. She's cleaned out Thieves Town, and she knows the pedestal's not required. So I think we're safe on Thieves Town, at least until she starts double checking things.
Yeah, there's not a whole lot left, aside from the dungeons that she's missing, that she needs to check before she needs to start retracing her steps a little bit. So she's got her mirror now. Heading back down, I imagine she'll check out Swamp Palace.
Yep, and as we know, Swamp Palace is going to be just a big old wild goose chase. Yeah, so she hasn't finished off blind, but she basically knows blind is not required. Until she starts second guessing herself, which we kind of want her to do, to be honest. We want her to second guess her knowledge of completion. An Argoose chase? Oh, get out. Also, that's beautiful.
We always love those play on words. Oh, I thought it was Groose from Skyward Sword.
There could be that. Now, I will say that as the I don't know about the restreamer or anyone else involved here, but we do have a general policy of cutting off the streams at 3 hours here for this tournament. So we may not get to follow karaoke the entire way. And I have just confirmed that there will in fact be another race happening in 15 minutes on this channel. So we will be cutting this race pretty short.
Yep, it'll be Alpha Channel versus Buckshot Boo coming up at 3 o'clock here. Right here, so stick around and you'll see another race starting up very shortly.
I think those are the commentators. I think it's Stinger PA versus Lunchtime ATH.
Oh shoot, I was looking at the wrong column. So you'll get to hear their lovely voices.
Yep. So while we are winding down for the last few minutes of this race, I want to go ahead and thank the people involved here. So we've got Iceman F1 on the restream. Thank you very much for pulling this off, and congratulations on dealing with the setup for that. I know I couldn't do it. And of course, our wonderful tracker, Ilyana Vess, who I can only assume is a Magic the Gathering reference. But thank you very much for helping us out there. And of course, to my co-commentator, B-Links, for putting up with my awful, awful jokes.
Thank you so much, and thank you for joining me today, Dr. Bob.
Yep. It has been a pleasure today. Despite the heartbreak that occurred on the stream itself. Alrighty. So once again, karaoke is now going to head to the left side of Swamp. We know for a fact that there's not going to be much over there, just a map and a big 20.
But at this point, she is looking every nook and cranny that she can.
Yep. I imagine before she stops looking in new places that she will also scour all of Swamp, as much as she can of Turtle Rock, and probably all the mirror locations in the overworld. No, she will not have to go back. She got the key first, then went around. She took the vanilla path through this dungeon. As you'll note, she has a key right now. That's the only way she could be over here with a key. Oh, switch error. You're right. Oh, no. Yeah, I thought you meant that she flooded the key. She didn't flood the key, but she's going to have a hard time getting to the chest. She's like, really? Really? You know, I think... I kind of feel like that might be the last straw.
I wouldn't blame her one little bit.
Nope. We're still going. So I think we might follow this for another 5 minutes or so. And at that point, we'll probably cut it off so that our restreamer can get the next race ready. And once again, heading over to the left, going to get that box.
She might be slightly upset to find out there's just a big 20.
I can just hear the, are you kidding me right now? Coming from every little action that Karaoke is doing right now. All right, we can see if we can follow her to the Argus fight. I think it'd be fitting to watch her defeat Argus. What do you think?
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Though she did pick up the big key. No, that's in the back. Never mind. She picked up the map on the left side. This is not going to work out the way you want it to, Karaoke. The fire rod was on Vitreous. And there we go. So 2 more items. You know, Karaoke is doing her best, but I think depending on what happens after this next chest, we may cut this off. So if she heads on to Argus, I think we can watch the Argus fight. Otherwise, if she goes back to open the big chest, I think we're going to have to cut it off. What happened to lunchtime? Lunchtime is not lunchtime yet. All right, so we'll watch this Argus fight and then we'll say goodbye. So once again, while this is going on, I want to say thank you to everybody involved. Thank you to all the people watching. Of course, thank you to our runners, BrewersFanJP and Kariohki for putting on this race. And thank you to all those involved. If you enjoyed what you saw here, the best way to help those people out is to give them a follow, and I'm sure we would all appreciate it very much.
Thank you, everybody.
Kariohki takes down the puffballs very quickly. This will end shortly for Kariohki, and we will say goodbye to everybody else. So, on that note, and on that Argus kill, I'd just like to say I have been Dr. Bobtastic.
And I have been B-Links.
And we'll see you later.
Bye.